It's that feeling. Isn't it the quiet suggestion? Maybe from your own body, maybe from a well-meaning friend or even a doctor, that you're just slowing down, that some things are inevitable now that you're past a certain age, especially after 60. You hear it in comments like, "Oh, you can't expect to do that at your age." Or you feel it when you wake up with stiffness you didn't have before. And the immediate thought is, well, this is just how it is now. You start believing that the best years for strength, energy, and vibrant living are behind you, tucked away in memory. It's a painful reality to feel like you're on a steady, unavoidable decline, just accepting whatever comes your way because, after all, you're not a young man anymore. But what if I told you that much of what you've been led to believe about aging after 60, especially for men, simply isn't true? What if many of those limitations aren't a hard fact of age, but a result of myths we've all bought into in this video? We're going to look at 3 major myths about being a man over 60 that a doctor will tell you are simply not accurate, and we'll explore what you can do about them. Get ready to challenge some long-held beliefs. Because you're not too old. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's dive right into the first big myth that sidelines far too many men after 60, the idea that you just have to accept getting weak, losing muscle mass, and that there's really nothing significant you can do to stop it. This is perhaps one of the most damaging myths because it affects your physical capability, your energy levels, and your overall independence. It's true that as we age, hormonal changes occur, and if we're inactive, muscle mass and strength can decline. The medical term for age-related muscle loss is sarcopenia, and it sounds scary, doesn't it? Like an unavoidable disease of old age. You might notice you can't lift things you used to, stairs feel harder, or you just feel less stable on your feet. The common narrative is, well, that's just getting old. And because you believe it, you might become less active, which then accelerates the muscle loss, creating a vicious cycle. It feels like you're caught in an irreversible slide towards frailty. But here's the truth. From a doctor's perspective, while some age-related changes are natural, the significant loss of muscle mass and strength that many experience is not solely due to age. It's heavily influenced by lifestyle. And more importantly, it is absolutely manageable and often reversible. Even after 60, 70 or beyond, you can build muscle, you can regain strength, and you can improve your physical capability. The key isn't magical, it's consistent effort, specifically through something called resistance training. Now, before you picture yourself pumping iron in a gym full of youngsters, resistance training simply means working your muscles against some form of resistance. This could be your own body weight, resistance bands, light dumbbells, or even everyday objects like cans of soup. The point is to challenge your muscles so they have to adapt and get stronger. Think about it every time you stand up from a chair. You're doing a bodyweight squat. Every time you push open a heavy door, you're working chest and arm muscles. We do these things every day, but often without the deliberate focus needed to build strength. Starting resistance training, even gently, sends a signal to your body that these muscles are needed. And it responds by maintaining or even building new muscle tissue. It's like telling your body, hey, don't get rid of these valuable assets, I need them. For a man over 60, this could start incredibly simply. Maybe it's practicing standing up and sitting down from a sturdy chair 10 times in a row. Once that feels easy, maybe you try doing it with your hands across your chest. Maybe you use a countertop for support and do gentle wall push-ups. As you get a little stronger, you could introduce a resistance band for exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions. Even just lifting light weights, perhaps starting with water bottles or small dumbbells, for simple movements can make a significant difference. Consistency is far more important than intensity when you're starting out. Aim for 2 or 3 sessions a week, focusing on working the major muscle groups: legs, chest, back, shoulders, and arms. And don't forget your core. Strengthening your core muscles improves balance and stability, which is crucial as you age. The benefits of resistance training go far beyond just looking or feeling stronger. Increased muscle mass helps boost your metabolism, making it easier to manage your weight. It improves bone density, reducing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. It enhances balance and coordination, significantly lowering your risk of falls. It can even help manage chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes and arthritis. And perhaps most importantly, feeling physically capable has a huge impact on your mental well-being and independence. Being able to carry groceries, play with grandchildren, walk further without getting tired, or simply move around your home with ease gives you a sense of confidence and freedom that can be incredibly empowering. It's not about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about maintaining functional strength so you can continue doing the things you love. Now, protein plays a vital role in muscle maintenance and growth. Think of protein as the building blocks for your muscles. If you're not getting enough protein, especially when you're trying to build or maintain muscle through resistance training, your body simply won't have the materials it needs. As we age, our bodies actually become a little less efficient at using protein for muscle building, which means we often need slightly more protein than younger people, not less. Aim to include a source of protein with every meal. Good sources include lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy products like Greek yogurt and cheese, beans, lentils, tofu, and nuts. Even simple changes like adding a scoop of protein powder to a smoothie or having eggs for breakfast can help you reach your protein goals. It's not about drastically changing your diet overnight, but making small, conscious choices to prioritize protein intake alongside your resistance training. The myth that muscle loss is an inevitable part of aging that you can't fight is just that, a myth. You absolutely have the power to maintain and even build strength well into your later years. And the rewards in terms of health, independence, and quality of life are immense. It requires effort and consistency, but the feeling of regaining strength and proving that old myth wrong is incredibly motivating. It's about rejecting the idea that your physical capabilities are on a one-way street downhill. They're not. Now that we've tackled the myth of inevitable weakness and muscle loss, let's move on to another common belief that holds many men back, which is the pervasive idea that persistent aches, pains, stiffness, and reduced mobility are just normal, unavoidable parts of being over 60 and something you just have to learn to live with. You wake up feeling stiff, your knees ache after a walk, your back bothers you after sitting too long, and the conventional wisdom, sometimes even from healthcare providers who are too quick to blame age, is that this is just the wear and tear of getting older? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, I'm 65 now. Of course I have these aches. Everyone does. And so, you might stop doing activities you enjoy, avoid movement because you fear it will make the pain worse, or resign yourself to a life limited by discomfort. This myth is particularly insidious because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe the pain is unavoidable and you stop moving, your muscles weaken, tying back to our first myth. Your joints become stiffer, and the pain can actually increase. It feels like a one-way ticket to reduced mobility and constant discomfort. But here's the medical perspective. The truth behind this widespread myth, while joints and tissues do undergo changes over time, persistent, limiting pain is often not simply a benign symptom of getting old. It's frequently a sign of something that can be addressed, managed, and often significantly improved. Common causes of pain like osteoarthritis, inflammation, old injuries that were never fully rehabbed, poor posture developed over years, or even simple muscle tightness and weakness are not necessarily permanent conditions that age dictates. Many of these are conditions that can be actively treated or managed through specific strategies. The doctor debunks the myth by explaining that while age is a risk factor for certain conditions like osteoarthritis, the severity of pain and limitation is highly variable and heavily influenced by factors you can control. The absence of a formal diagnosis doesn't mean the pain is untreatable. It just means you need to explore the underlying causes. One of the most powerful tools against persistent pain and stiffness is, perhaps counterintuitively, movement. When you're in pain, the natural instinct is to rest and avoid using the painful area. While rest is sometimes necessary in acute situations like a sudden injury, for chronic pain and stiffness, inactivity often makes things worse. Gentle, consistent movement helps lubricate your joints, nourishes cartilage, keeps muscles from becoming stiff and weak, and can actually help modulate your body's pain signals over time. Think of your joints like hinges that need to be used to stay smooth. If they sit still, they can rust up. This doesn't mean pushing through excruciating pain. It means finding types of movement that you can tolerate and gradually increasing them. Walking is fantastic. It's low impact and uses many major muscle groups. Swimming or water aerobics are excellent options, as the buoyancy of the water reduces stress on joints. Cycling, whether on a stationary bike or outdoors, can also be good, especially for knee and hip pain. Gentle stretching and flexibility exercises are also critical. Tight muscles can pull on joints and contribute to pain and stiffness. Simple stretches for your hamstrings, quads, shoulders, and back, held gently for 30 seconds, can make a world of difference in restoring some range of motion and easing tightness. Yoga or Tai Chi, which combine movement, stretching, and mindfulness, are particularly beneficial for improving flexibility, balance, and reducing stress, which can also impact pain perception. Another significant factor contributing to pain is inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation in the body can exacerbate joint pain and stiffness, while age is a factor. Our diet plays a huge role in managing inflammation. The doctor would tell you that eating an anti-inflammatory diet can make a tangible difference in how you feel. This involves focusing on whole, unprocessed foods, plenty of fruits and vegetables, especially colorful ones rich in antioxidants, sources of omega-3 fatty acids like fatty fish salmon, mackerel, sardines, flax seeds, and walnuts, healthy fats like olive oil and avocados, and spices like turmeric and ginger, known for their anti-inflammatory properties. Conversely, reducing or avoiding foods that promote inflammation is also key, such as processed foods, sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, and excessive amounts of red and processed meats. Even modest weight loss, if you are overweight, can significantly reduce the load on your weight-bearing joints like knees and hips, leading to a dramatic reduction in pain. It's amazing how much pressure is taken off with even just a few pounds lost. But perhaps the most important actionable step against the myth of inevitable pain is seeking professional help. Don't just accept pain as normal aging. Talk to your doctor. Describe your symptoms specifically. They can help identify the cause of your pain, which might be something treatable like tendinitis, bursitis, or a specific joint issue, rather than just generalized old age, wear and tear. They can recommend physical therapy, which is incredibly effective at addressing pain through targeted exercises, stretches, and techniques to improve movement patterns. They might suggest medication options for pain relief or inflammation management when necessary, or even discuss other interventions. The point is, you don't have to suffer in silence or simply grin and bear it because you're over 60. Your pain deserves attention and treatment. Reclaiming movement, adopting anti-inflammatory habits, and seeking appropriate medical care are powerful ways to debunk this myth and live with greater comfort and mobility. It's about taking control and refusing to accept pain as your permanent companion just because of your age. Now that we've seen that weakness and chronic pain aren't inevitable destinies after 60, this directly leads us to the third myth that often takes hold. The myth that says your peak years for activity, adventure, and genuinely enjoying life are firmly behind you once you hit 60. It's the notion that this decade, and the ones that follow, are meant for winding down, taking it easy, and perhaps just watching the world go by from the sidelines. This myth isn't just about physical decline. It's about a perceived decline in opportunity, excitement, and purpose. You might hear yourself or others say things like, "I'm too old for that now," or "That's for younger people." This belief can lead to withdrawal from social activities, giving up hobbies you once loved, avoiding travel, or simply not pursuing new interests because you feel like it's too late or not appropriate for your age. The painful reality here is a shrinking world, a sense of missing out, and potentially loneliness or a lack of fulfillment. It can feel like you've entered a holding pattern, waiting for, well, waiting. But the doctor would emphatically tell you that this myth is perhaps the most damaging because it's primarily a mindset issue, often built upon the faulty assumptions of the first two myths we've already debunked. Your ability to enjoy life, pursue passions, stay active, and even embark on new adventures after 60 is far less determined by your birth certificate and far more by your physical health, which we now know is manageable, your mental attitude, and your willingness to stay engaged with the world. This period of life, free from the daily grind of work for many, with accumulated wisdom and experience, can be incredibly rich and fulfilling. It's not an ending. It's a new, potentially exciting chapter with its own unique possibilities. The myth of being over the hill is often perpetuated by societal stereotypes and our own internal adoption of those ideas. But look around. There are countless examples of men over 60, 70, 80, and even older who are running marathons, starting businesses, learning new languages, pursuing creative arts, traveling the globe, volunteering extensively, or simply living incredibly active and engaged lives within their communities. Their secret isn't magic. It's often a combination of prioritizing their health, tackling those first two myths, and maintaining a mindset of curiosity, purpose, and connection. So, how do you actively debunk this myth in your own life? It starts with challenging that internal voice that says, "You're too old." Replace it with, "What could I do?" or "What haven't I tried yet?" It's about setting new goals, no matter how small. Maybe it's deciding you want to walk a mile 3 times a week. Maybe it's finally learning to play that guitar sitting in the corner. Maybe it's joining a local club or volunteer group. These aren't just time fillers. They are ways to stay mentally stimulated, physically active, and socially connected, all crucial components of a vibrant life at any age. Social connection is incredibly important as you age. Loneliness and isolation can have significant negative impacts on both physical and mental health. Actively seeking out social interactions, meeting friends for coffee, joining a book club, participating in community events, spending time with family, keeps you connected to others and the world around you. It provides support, shared experiences, and a sense of belonging. Maintaining mental sharpness is also key to enjoying life fully. Just like your muscles, your brain benefits from being challenged, learning new skills, reading, doing puzzles, playing games, engaging in stimulating conversations. All of these help keep your mind agile and engaged. Think about what you've always wanted to do but never had the time for. Now might be the perfect opportunity. Perhaps you always wanted to travel to a specific place, learn to paint, write your memoirs, or get involved in local politics. These dreams don't expire at 60. They simply enter a new phase where you might finally have the time and freedom to pursue them. It requires shifting your perspective from what you can't do anymore to what you can do and what you want to do. It's about finding new sources of joy, meaning, and purpose. Your health is your foundation for all of this. By rejecting the myths of inevitable weakness and unavoidable pain, you build the physical capacity to remain active and engaged, but your mindset is the fuel, believing that you are capable, that you still have valuable contributions to make, and that there is still joy and adventure to be found is incredibly powerful. Don't let a number define your limitations. Define them yourself, based on what you believe is possible. This period of life offers unique gifts, potentially more free time, accumulated wisdom, perspective, and the chance to focus on what truly matters to you. It's a time to reap the rewards of decades of hard work and life experience. Embracing this phase means actively participating in it, not passively observing it. It's about finding your rhythm, pursuing your interests, and connecting with others in meaningful ways. So, there you have it. 3 powerful myths about being a man after 60, thoroughly debunked by a doctor's perspective rooted in science and possibility. We've seen that losing strength and muscle isn't inevitable. You can actively build and maintain it through resistance training and adequate protein. We've learned that persistent aches and pains aren't just something you have to live with. Movement, anti-inflammatory habits, and seeking professional help can make a significant difference. And finally, we've challenged the idea that your most vibrant years are behind you, recognizing that your ability to stay active, engaged, and joyful is a matter of health, mindset, and continuous engagement with life. Remember, age is a factor, but it doesn't have to be a sentence. The limitations you feel are often not purely biological, but a combination of physical changes, lifestyle choices, and perhaps most significantly, the limiting beliefs we adopt from these myths. Small changes, made consistently, can lead to remarkable improvements in your strength, your comfort, and your overall quality of life. Taking steps to challenge these myths isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. It's about maintaining your independence, continuing to do the things you love, and having the energy and ability to pursue new interests and spend quality time with the people who matter most to you. You are not too old to get stronger, to feel better, or to live a full and adventurous life. This is your time to redefine what being over 60 means. It's a time of experience, wisdom, and continued growth. Don't let outdated myths hold you back from living your best life right now. I encourage you to think about which of these myths might have been holding you back. What small step can you take today or this week to challenge one of them? Maybe it's trying one simple bodyweight exercise, adding more protein to your meals, going for a gentle walk, or scheduling that doctor's appointment you've been putting off to discuss persistent pain. Your journey to debunking these myths in your own life starts with that first small step. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you encountered these myths? What strategies have you found helpful in staying strong and active? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a like. It helps others who need this message find it. And subscribe to the channel for more practical, science-backed advice to help you live a vibrant, healthy, and fulfilling life at every age. Thank you for watching. Keep moving, keep exploring, keep connecting. Live your best life at every age.